Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Callie.
And I'm Beam.
So today we're going to go over our top 3 books in the month of April. Guess I will go first. I have Mirror Mirror by Calonita. I really like this book. It was just super fun. I love Disney. It gave me a whole new outlook on the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I never really cared for it, but getting like all of this background and the point of view of the evil queen made me really love the story even more, and it just made me happy throughout the entire book. It was a cool twist. It gave power to Snow White, which I always love girl power. Woo. Woo. So I would highly recommend all of these twisted tales if you like Disney at all.
Alright, the first book I'm going to mention is going to be The Perfect Assassin, which is the first book in the Chronicles of Reid, I believe it is, by K.A.Doore. And this book I gave a 5 out of 5 to. It was thrilling, emotional, action-packed. There were rooftop fights, assassins with ninja skills, political intrigue, and it seriously held my attention from page 1. Our main character, Armstrong, is your quintessential cinnamon roll character who he's an assassin, but he doesn't really want to be an assassin because he's terrified of everything. And there's, it embraces the culture of the area because they do live in a desert, so it's not really it is a magical dystopian kind of world. Where they do fear the desert, and there's magical creatures that live around, and the souls of people, basically kind of like jinn, go around, and it's a complicated story, but it's very well done. It's super intense, and I highly recommend it.
My next one is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Scholte. I really like this book. It has everything that I love in a fantasy. It has political intrigue. It had a mystery that I really loved. I loved how all the characters develop. We get point of views from all of the 4 queens, our main character, a couple others, the villain included. It was just super cool on how the world was built. It didn't spend the entire book world building, which I really loved. There's 4 different quadrants and 4 different queens respectively, but they all work together to make sure that the country lives in harmony, as well as governing their own separate quadrant, which each quadrant has its own aspect of life that they contribute to. There's agriculture, technology, medicine, arts, so each queen has to follow all the queenly laws, which is basically how she set up the world building, and each law was like a different chapter with the queens to kind of emphasize what the queenly law meant to each queen. So it was really well done. I really hope Astrid Scholte visits this world again. I loved the country. I love how it was run. It was different. It was cool. And it did wrap up really nicely. It did leave me wanting more, but it didn't leave out any loose ends that pissed me off.
Alright, my next book is Rome by C.H. Armstrong. This is a YA contemporary that really surprised me, and I ended up reading it in one sitting. It did make me cry, and I don't cry during books, really, like, at all. I'm pretty heartless when it comes to that.
I don't either. It's okay.
The only other book I think I've cried during was Fault in Our Stars.
Ooh, I cried like a baby when I read that.
I did. But since then, I barely cry in books, and this one actually did make me cry at the end. The ending made the entire book completely worth it. However, this does follow your stereotypical formula for a YA contemporary. You know who the main character is. You know, like, what's going to happen. You know who her boyfriend's going to be. Like, it's cut and dry. You know what's going to happen. But I think that played well for this plot because I didn't have to concentrate on that aspect because I knew subconsciously what was going to happen. I was able to kind of get more detail on herself and what happened with her family to put them in this situation. The situation being that they had to move to a different state and they're now homeless. So they're living out of their car in the middle of at the beginning of a Minnesota winter.
My absolute favorite in the month of April is Daisy Jones and the Six by Jenkins Reid. If you saw our last video, I can go on and on about how much this book was beautifully written. Every person who reads it can come up with their own ideas about the ending, which is I love how much there is for interpretation, and I love when a book can do that. It makes for really good conversation, which is why everyone in this room should read it. But one thing that I really love about this is every time they referenced the band or the music in this, I had to remind myself that this is a fictional band. Whenever they mentioned, it's like, oh, well, you know the song, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just listen to it on YouTube. Oh. Wait. I refuse to believe that this band doesn't exist, and I need this band to exist because it's just such an amazing book. I'm super excited that Amazon Prime has picked it up for a mini-series, and it makes me so happy, and if it's not done perfectly, I will be mad.
So then you will be able to listen to the song.
I will, if they do the music right. But because the music is just, you can feel it. You can feel the emotion in the lyrics, and you can feel the emotion coming from Daisy and from the Six, and it's just such an emotionally beautiful story that I just love it so much.
And then my favorite book of the month was Lumberjanes Volume 10, Parents' Day. This has multiple authors. Reid, who do the art, who do the coloring, and this series is my favorite, and this series is my favorite graphic novel series that I have read. It does follow the magical adventures of these 5 girls from a summer camp for lady types, and that's literally what they call it. And you have all sorts of different types of people. You have different types of sexual orientations or gender identities, all of that kind of stuff. And then you have magic, like you have a woman who changes into a bear. She's this little old lady who's super grumpy, and then she can change into this giant grizzly bear. Because you know what? Why not? Also, there's gods and goddesses in here. Like Artemis is a teen because she pissed off her parents. And
that's about right.
Right? And so this one I really liked because their parents came and visited, and none of their parents realize all of the magical stuff that's going on in the camp. And so, yeah, it's so funny because they basically have to try and hide this stuff from their parents and try and be like, no, I mean, they're just joking. There aren't actually unicorns and mermaids. Yeah, there are, but that's not the point, and I just love it. It was so much fun.
All right. So those are our top 3 favorite reads from the month of April. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All of our handles will be down below with links.
Hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified for whenever we post a video, which is Tuesdays and Fridays as of right now.
We also have a joint Instagram now, which will also be down below, as well as our individual handles, mine, Sarah's, and Brittany's, and Sarah's blog, all down below. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time. Bye!